Hello, everyone. This is Rick with AmazingAccuracy.com. Today is August 30th, 2025. It is currently 7:54 p.m. Chicago time. Okay, this is a quick stock review of ADP. And when I say quick, I mean it's going to be a short video. I want to highlight this stock. There's a few things that I think is of utmost importance to put it on your watch list. This is not a call to buy or sell ADP or anything else. It is an analysis of a stock that may provide an opportunity here in the short term. Currently, we're looking at ADP on the monthly chart. Each one of these price bars represents one whole month. Now, what I want to draw your attention to is the fact that not only are these monthly price bars riding along an expanded bed of EMAs. You can see that we have the 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 100, 200 EMAs. We call this a positively stacked EMAs. And this represents clearly a bullish trend. And again, this is the monthly time frame, very long term. You come over here, we're looking at 2011, and here's 2025. Now, to get straight to the point, what I want to draw your attention to is 2 monthly bars ago. So that would be, of course, the month of June. And we can see that it had made an all-time high, ATH, all-time high. And somewhere around, let's see, 329.93. There, it says so right there, 329.93. Now, why this is important is because of the fact that it has recently made an all-time high. That is a very, very strong indication of a market that has the potential to go even higher. It has been pushing all-time highs for as long as you can see way back here. It just continued. It had a little resting period back in 2020. All stocks did pretty much back in the COVID period. And then we can see that over here in 2022, it had the brief pullback. And so now in 2025, we have this new all-time high, and we are within striking distance of it. And since price bars have not moved below the 21 EMA, for an example here, I am still interested in this stock. And so let's now nail down into lower time frames and see what else we can find out about ADP. On the weekly chart of ADP, here we're able to draw some trend lines off some previous weekly lows. We have a touch here. We have a touch here out into the future. And then there you have your all-time high. Makes a nice little ascending wedge pattern here. Okay. If you'll notice closely that the ADP is currently riding along its 34 EMA. It's also starting to come off a little bit on its stochastic here, though that doesn't mean a whole lot to me at this point because it's been sideways for several weeks. But I wanted to draw your attention to how we are close to this ascending support line. So, of course, if ADP were to start breaking below this ascending trend line, then all bets are off. You take this off your watch list and you move on to something better. However, as long as it's trading between it and the all-time high, this stock should be of interest to you. Our goal, of course, is to return to all-time highs and to break it and to move into new, fresh, virgin territory. Let's move down to the daily time frame now. All right, the daily time frame tells us even more. You can see that ADP has made multiple touches on the 200 EMA. We can see it here, 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 and here, and here. This has proven to be support. Daily prices are not that far off of this support. And as you can see here on the daily, I have a touch point here, touch point here and here, touch point here and here to connect this downward trend line on the daily. We're coming to an apex. What's that? When you come to a point where you know that prices must break above or below, it cannot stay within the apex forever because the point comes to an end. So this is a hint for us pattern-wise that we are soon going to be breaking out of this sideways consolidating pattern. If you're familiar with the TTM squeeze indicator, that's this right here. The red dots represent a squeeze when you have this compression period like you see here. It is simply the Bollinger Bands, which measures graphically volatility of the market. When those are compressed, in other words, volatility has dropped considerably and is within the Keltner channels with usually around a 1.5 ATR, then that's pretty much telling you that it is in a compression state. And what happens during low volatility periods? They become later high volatility periods and vice versa. You can see back here this purplish color. That is a mild compression compared to the red, which is a very tight compression. But you can see what happens once you come out of compression. You sling out into a trend, a short-term move in one direction or another. You can see it happened here. We come out of the red here and it slung down. If you come back further, you can see this red period right here. When it came out, slung up. So this is telling us we are in a squeeze. It's telling us that we are soon going to break out of that squeeze. It doesn't tell us in what direction. I have put an alert on this downward trend line that if it was to break that, then clearly I'm expecting the move to be upwards. And because it would be moving towards all-time high, this would be a stock that I would consider buying if it breaks above this downward trend line, especially if it closes above this downward trend line. I only need one bar close above this trend line to confirm for me. You'll also see that this will become a green dot like you see here, and hopefully we'll be looking at a cyan bar, which means it's an upside firing of the squeeze. Okay, so none of these are really of any importance. You don't even need them. I put them there. That's just extra confluence. Right now, this is RSI. It's just pretty much coasting along the 50. It's not saying that it's strong. It's not saying that it's weak. It's saying that it is. Just floating along sideways. Here, when you see the yellow bars getting smaller and smaller and smaller like this on the TTM, that is normally bullish momentum, but it's very light momentum that's bullish. That's why it's moving upwards. But, you know, these are just tiny hints. They don't necessarily have to mean anything. But often when you see that, then it'll start to pop up cyan on the top. These are just little nuances that you get used to seeing. Like, for example, you can see that here it was getting smaller and smaller and then eventually pops up the cyan, and it also precedes this whole move up. So anyway, put ADP on your watch list. You want to bring up your daily chart. You want to mark off a trend line across these 3-4 points here, all the way down. Put an alert on it if you have like TradingView or some app platform that allows you to do that. And if it breaks above there and closes above there, well, for this analyst and trader, I will be looking at putting call options on ADP if I see that. On the flip side, if it breaks below the 200, I'm just taking it off my watch list and I'm moving on, because I'm not looking to short this market. I'm looking to go long if we can go again towards the all-time high. All right, well, thanks for watching this video. And if you want to see more videos just like this, I ask that you please hit that like button and hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click the notification bell so that you're informed when I upload my next video. And I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. Bye.